Hello, this is Kristine Reynolds and I'm back today with another stamping tutorial for you. This week the design teams from Cornish Heritage Farms and Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft are teaming up for a 4-day blog hop, and I'm going to show you how I created the main panel on this card that I made for my blog post today. The supplies that I will use are white cardstock. I used Mohawk Bright White 80-pound cardstock, but you can use any white cardstock that you like. For the gelatos, I'll be using metallic gold, butterscotch, chocolate, and cotton candy. I'll also be using a walnut brown PITT Artist Pen big brush, and you'll need a small mister or spray bottle with some water in it. The stamps that I'll be using today are the large daisy backgrounder from Cornish Heritage Farms and a sentiment stamp from the set called A Time to Stamp from Cornish Heritage Farms, and I will be using more stamps from that set on a tutorial later this week, so make sure you check back for that. To begin with, we're going to be using the backgrounder, and we're going to use the direct to rubber technique with the gelatos. If you haven't used gelatos before, I just want to show you a little bit about how they look. They are in a container that is a little bit bigger than a chapstick container, but everything else about them is very similar to chapstick. They roll open. I don't want to get that too far. And while you can rub it onto your finger, you have to rub a little hard. It's kind of a waxy feel like chapstick, but when you add water or pressure to it, you're able to blend and smooth it out on your cardstock. You'll see when we're doing this project. So today I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my metallic gold gelato and just rub it directly onto the rubber. And I'm going to come out a little tiny bit onto the petals from the center. The next gelato that I'm going to use is my butterscotch, and I'm using that for the petals, and you can see it just rubs right on. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to spray this with water and it's going to kind of blend all together to give us that watercolor effect. And then I'm going to use cotton candy, and I'll be using this chocolate one a little bit later. And the cotton candy is just going to go on this background. And basically cover the whole background. And you can see how I'm not really concerned with which way I color or if it's swirled or how it goes on. I just want to get all the rubber covered. We're almost done here. Little piece in there. Okay. Once that's done, you'll want to take your mister, and I spray it pretty liberally. I want to make sure it's pretty wet. Then you're going to take your cardstock, and this was cut down to standard A2 size. So you can see this background will more than cover an A2 card. It's actually a little bit bigger than you need. And then lift it up, and you have this beautiful image. And I don't know if the camera shows the shimmer, but when it dries it definitely has a beautiful shimmer. So after stamping this, you'll want to set it aside to dry. And through the magic of video, I already have a dry one. So you can see that's all dry and ready to go. So I'm going to take my sentiment stamp that I have, and I'm going to take my walnut colored artist brush and just cover the words up with the ink. See if I can get that straight. And put that down. It's pretty straight. And you can see that on there now. Oops, sorry. Next step to create the card is I'm going to take some scissors and just rough up the edges of my panel. No rhyme or reason. Just take the side edge of your scissors and that'll give you that nice roughed up look. You can tell if it rips or tears or bends. I'm all good with that. It's all part of the finished look. Okay, now so I can show you the next step, I'm going to lift my paper up that I've been working on. And I have a craft mat underneath here. And this is a great thing that you can do with the gelatos. I'm going to take them and just color right there on my craft mat. And then I'm going to add a couple of squirts of water. And then just take my finger and work the water into it, and you can see that it just turns into a liquid. And then I'm going to take my cardstock and just sort of rub that through there. And actually kind of use the cardstock to clean it off my mat. So that by the time I'm done, can you see that? It's just around the edges. I'm going to go ahead and put my piece of paper back down and just show you. There's a few places where I think I'd like to have a little bit more darkness, and so I'm just going to come in here with there and just rub that in. And maybe right in here. I like to kind of emphasize that tear there. Down here a little. There you go. So when that's done, I would still set that aside to dry. And when it's dry, then you can add it to your card base. And I just added a couple of dewdrops onto there to finish it off. And that concludes today's tutorial showing you how to use the gelatos directly on your rubber to create a card. I hope that you will visit my blog, Stamping and Scrapping in California.blogspot.com, and you can get some more inspiration there. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye-bye.